What's up, everybody? I hope all of you are doing well. Now, we are going to be talking about Chanel Allure Homme Sport Superleggera. So this fragrance in my hand here. And we're going to be going into wearability, performance, projection, and then also if it's worth tracking down a bottle of Superleggera, because I have seen they've taken it away from department stores such as Macy and Sephora, for example. Now, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. We make fragrance and fitness content on this channel. Now, I'll talk more about Superleggera after the intro. Okay, let's talk more about Superleggera here. And gotta tell you all a little story before we hop in more about the notes, the chords, and the performance of this fragrance. Originally, I wasn't going to pick up this fragrance, and what I mean by that is Macy's canceled my order. I was so bummed out. So I had to pick this up on the secondhand market, basically, and it wasn't as good as a deal as the department store, but hey, I really wanted this. I was just slacking on ordering it, and I finally got a bottle of it, which I am glad to have this one in my collection. But yeah, now more about the fragrance here. So, if you did not know yet, Superleggera means super light. And a lot of people were talking about, is this fragrance going to be a super light fragrance? And in the terms of projection, I would say yes, it goes along with that Superleggera name. But for the longevity of this fragrance, it is actually pretty darn good. I would say off my skin, I was getting about 8 hours. 8 hours from a citrus, lavender, musky type of scent, which I was very impressed. But again, this didn't project off my skin too much. I would probably say 1 to 2 feet. And that 2 feet was in the opening of this fragrance. And you're going to get a big blast of citrus with this. Overall, it was almost a little bit too much for me in a sense that I was getting a little BO smell when I first sprayed on this fragrance and tried it out. But after coming back to it and trying it out a little bit more, that kind of went away, which I was glad, because I was just getting a big BO smell on that first wearing of this. But after that, like I mentioned, went away and came back, sprayed it on, and I was like, okay, this is more pleasant. This is more redefined. So I guess overall I had to let it macerate a little bit, like a lot of people like to say. But with this fragrance here, you are going to get in that opening, that Versace pour homme style opening here. And to my nose, out of all those fragrances behind me, this one aligns with this one a lot. It's if you took Versace pour homme here and you combined it with the original Allure Homme Sport, boom, then you get Superleggera here. And the reason I have Eau Extreme here is because I feel like these fragrances here aren't even close in a sense. This is more of a citrus take on the original, the Chanel Allure Homme Sport. The Eau Extreme is going to go more in that creamier direction. This one is still my favorite overall. I'm just going to put that out there. This one overall, you're going to have to wait till the end of the video to find out where I place it in the ones I've smelled. I really want to pick up the original Allure Homme, but I haven't got to that yet. I heard that one's a classic, and you'll have to let me know in the comments if that is true. Is the original Allure Homme from Chanel a classic? But with all these fragrances beside me here, this one is not really close to this at all. I just wanted to bring this one because it is in the line and people have compared it to this. But this one here, you're going to get more of the Chanel Allure Homme Sport DNA in a sense that this is more of that creamy citrus, and this is more of that refreshing citrus overall. Let's put Eau Extreme up. So pretty distant. I would say distant cousins if I had to kind of relate it between the two here. Let's put that one up and then pick up this one here. So the original here, you're going to get aspects of that in this. Of course, it's a flanker. It's not something that's far removed. But to me, with this fragrance here, this takes a back seat in this scent in a sense that this is kind of on the outskirts. You get that Allure Homme DNA in this, at least the Allure Homme Sport DNA. And coming off of that, this is if you took this fragrance here and they made a baby here with Versace Pour Homme, you get Superleggera. But that quality is going to be that Chanel quality here. And there is a little differences between these three fragrances I've just mentioned, enough to warrant for me that this is a little different of a scent. And kind of when I went off of that Versace Pour Homme, talking about that citrus and stuff like that, this fragrance doesn't last as long as this fragrance off my skin here. But in tail, this one projects better off my skin than this one here. And to my nose, in the opening, in the mid, you're going to get that Versace Pour Homme feel with this one. But in that mid, in that dry down, you're going to get more of this scent here, the original Chanel Allure Homme Sport. And that's when that DNA really comes out. But if I had to go into some accords of this fragrance here, which I will throw the notes up on the screen, you are going to get basically a musky, citrus, wood, kind of a little woody type of scent here. And overall, it kind of warrants back to this DNA. Overall, would I say personally, would I be hunting down a bottle for this because you cannot currently pick it up at any department store? Would I say, oh, you definitely need a bottle of this in your collection? No, you do not, okay? Especially for what stuff goes on the gray market overall. You gotta be careful, gotta be wise. But I would say this is a fragrance for somebody that if they do not have this in their collection, then definitely pick this up if you like this DNA. Overall, Chanel Allure Homme Sport Superleggera, if probably I made my 2024 list when I had this for top 10, top 12, whatever I made it for, I can't remember off my head. This would probably be in my top 10 or 12, whatever I made on that video. I think it's a solid fragrance that has great quality and the longevity's there for a freshie. And it also, to me and my nose, it's kind of treading that line between a designer and a niche scent in the sense of performance. I'm not talking about longevity. I'm talking about performance here for a freshie because like I mentioned, I was getting 8-9 hours off my skin with this scent. And it has that Chanel quality that is very nice and intrigued me overall. That's why I wanted to pick this fragrance up. But enough of me rambling about performance and all that stuff. I'm going to have to give it a rating of 8.6 out of 10. Like I mentioned, this is an enjoyable fragrance. Do I think it's worth it if you already have the two fragrances over here? No, I do not. Do I think it's worth it if you have this fragrance here? Yes, I do, because this one's more of a citrus take on this DNA here. And it does have that Chanel Allure Homme taste or flavor, whatever you want to call it, to warrant you getting a different type of feel with this fragrance compared to this fragrance over here, which is the Eau Extreme. So yeah, everybody, that's all I have for you in this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of Superleggera, and do you think we are actually going to get another Chanel flanker in one of these lines this year, such as Bleu de Chanel or in the Allure Homme Sport line? And I forgot to mention at the end of this video too, Edition Blanche does not smell anything close to this one. That one's more of a lemon meringue pie. I forgot to mention that one. I do have that one in my collection. I didn't bring it on this video, but just want to let you know the reason why it's not in this video is because this one's closer to these three than it would be that Edition Blanche fragrance. So it's not even close. But that one is a great fragrance, and it's warranted its flowers for sure. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you have tried Superleggera and what did you think about this release last year. Do you think it could have toppled the big dogs of 2024? And also, do you think this was better than Eau Forte from the House of Dior, the new Sauvage fragrance? Let me know in the comments. I'm very curious to hear. I appreciate you all staying this long throughout the video with me. It means a lot. And have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.